So, I'm Dakota. We're here with Northern Knives crew. We've got new face on the camera today.
Chad, Renfro, work next door at Northern Knives next door.
Yeah. He's the manager.
Cigars.
He's the manager over at Fifth Avenue. He runs the place.
I'm here to give a outsider's opinion, I guess, of the knives here.
We just love him for the cigars. And who are you?
I'm Mike. Do I have to say what I'm with? Sometimes I'm with NK. Sometimes I'm with 3DK.
It's a complex relationship.
Yeah.
You're here.
I just abbreviate it all at this point. I'm not even...
Yeah.
I'm Lori.
And we're here to...
She works at Mad Murders across the street.
No. We're here to talk about some knives tonight.
I do have to mention the Mad Murders across the street. They do have a sign painted on that door right there. You can't see it, but it says entrance and rear, and I giggle at it every time I fucking see it.
Google Mad Myrna's, Anchorage, Alaska. It'll make all the sense to you.
So, we have the Bugout. We picked the one off the shelf that seems to sell the best.
Yes.
And then we have the new Benchmade Bailout.
It's not out yet.
Assume it's not out yet. We've had it for, geez, I think by the time this video airs, we've had it for like a week.
Yeah, we've had it for a week
Be
already.
Monday.
Yeah, by the time this video airs, we probably had it for a week. It will come out the 26th. I think it's on our website as of today. So this is kind of the unofficial unboxing. We already cut the plastic, so it's not an absolute unboxing because we couldn't help ourselves. And should we even mention that all the ones we got, we have one left because we've already pre-sold all of them?
They're spoken for, we haven't sold them.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
That's what a pre-sale is.
Caveat.
Okay. We haven't sold them yet, but we have.
Or should we say
But they're all
caveat
spoken.
emptor?
But we have one, and I imagine by the time they actually go, by the time they're released,
I figured
I
you'd
can't
want
imagine
one
it'll
to
even
try
be
it out.
spoken for. Nothing against it. But
I would want my card scales for it.
Oh well, just give it a second. I mean, this thing. I
Oh,
mean,
I
you can
know.
already
You
get
can mod it out.
titanium. You can already
Sure.
get aluminum. You can already get anything you want for it. So this is definitely going to be next, especially when people see it. When we looked at the pictures, at least myself, I did not realize how similar it was going to be to the Bugout. I really thought it was going to be a little thicker, a little heavier, a little,
I
all
like
those
the bottle
things.
opener on the back. If you cut,
Can you use that as a bottle opener?
oh sure, you can use anything as a bottle opener.
Hey, let's try it right now.
Yeah. Let's chunk up this maybe Cerakote, maybe DLC. Lori has a text into the Cerakote guys. She's no.
Okay.
Lori has a text into the Cerakote people who, by the way, congratulations on your certification.
Thank you. Really excited.
Lori is Cerakote certified,
Good
and the Cerakote people absolutely loved her.
In the shop.
So we have a text in to see if it is Cerakote. I'm of the mindset that Benchmade uses so much DLC. It seems odd to me that they would all of a sudden switch up to Cerakote, but maybe they're switching up
Well,
the
it
entire
has a
line.
very different finish too. Like this is very smooth.
It is. This is. I asked you before. You can actually feel the texture on that.
Yeah.
You can actually see the different, like you can
Well, I mean, you can
see that
mix
this one is
the
textured.
different paints too, so it ends up with different texture. I mean, they do like a high gloss or matte finish as well.
I can feel the heat coming on that shit. I gotta say, I dig it.
I like it.
I really.
It's a little bit bigger for people who are like, oh, like this is a cool knife, but it's a little small for me. It's my hands.
I dig it. So far, I like the bill. I mean,
And nobody does any Tonto stuff anymore.
yeah.
Like,
The
for them to
Tonto's
bring
being
the
phased
Tonto-
out for sure.
Yeah, Warncliffs are great, but Tontos really do have just that classic style.
Well, it's like Tonto's and serrations are.
Yes.
I mean, they're just every year
Yep.
less Tontos, less serrations. They were like a fad that's passing or something.
But we still get that customer says, do you have anything Tonto? I'm like,
Or do you have anything Tonto or serrated? It's like, well, you took this shop
Yeah.
that has thousands of knives and you whittled it down to 4 knives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here are your 4 options.
Well, the one thing I've noticed about it is they got rid of the built-in lanyard hole
Yeah.
on the scales, and then they went for a full metal one on the end. Again, we've not really heard anything about people breaking that, but maybe that was a minor concern, or they wanted people to get more for the money.
Maybe they're ahead of the curve on it.
Because I mean, they do all the insides. I think they replaced all the inside with titanium, not just the axis.
Maybe they
slot.
want people who buy aftermarket scales to be able to retain.
I don't know if
Well-
Benchmade built this in hopes that people would like modify it afterwards. I mean, they
I
might
can
not-
imagine
have
you
to be
would do
aware.
that.
Well,
They have to be
they're
aware, but I mean, I wouldn't make
Do you-
like one of our knives. I wouldn't make it in the hopes that somebody would modify it.
Or
Yeah.
they're becoming
I would
cheap.
hope that I built a knife that satisfies what they
As
want
is.
without having to without having
This isn't
having
a
to
Mustang.
modify.
You don't have to replace everything out with carbon fiber.
What I think is when they went with the Bugout, I'm guessing they went as lightweight as possible. What is the most lightweight we can make it without compromising quality? And then when this became so popular, they said, okay, now what if we did that and toughened it up just a touch while retaining super lightweight and retaining a super low price point? What is it? This is $130 for American made.
Yeah, 131 for the
131?
gray Cerakote, and then 119. for
114.
the- 114.
114 for the
Which is
non-coated
still
blade.
really
for the blade.
Not
Yeah.
not Cerakote, Diamond.
This is Cerakote.
That is Cerakote?
That's Cerakote, or is that
This-
DLC?
No, this is Cerakote.
Oh, it is?
Yes, that
Oh,
one.
well, then this probably is too. Then never mind
It's just
everything
a
I said
different-
prior.
Yeah, I'm 95% sure that this is gray Cerakote, and I was like, but this is S30. Like, why would you Cerakote? Although Cerakote's pretty awesome.
Cerakote
Just
is
saying.
pretty awesome.
Well, one thing I do notice is one of their new knives this year, the turret,
Yes.
has this interesting double flare design with the jimping on the top there. And if you notice, it follows that same design language.
Okay.
I wonder if they're kind of redesigning the entire line with a slightly different design language over time.
Well, I mean, you can't blame them. It does stop your hand from moving up over the edge. You know,
Yeah.
that's one thing. Like most all of our knife designs, we make a very conscious effort to make sure that when you're under real hard use, that you are not slipping up off the handle and slipping up onto the blade. I mean, you're losing tendons and all kinds of shit.
Unlike Scandinavian design knives where you just slip forward and hold it on.
That's my only problem with. I love Helis. Helis
Yeah.
are great knives. My
Yeah.
only problem with Helis is I won't use one because there's nothing to stop me from just running my hand up onto that fucking
Yeah.
blade. And some of them have a swell in the handle, and the handle actually gets smaller towards the blade. So there's nothing to stop you.
One-
Like if you're up inside an animal and you hit a bone, you're sliding right up off that thing.
One of my little brother's friends bought a heli from here, and he sliced his finger wide open, and they were out rock climbing too, so he was done for the day. No more rock climbing for him, but he went right through his finger. Like, it was just nasty. He showed me pictures of, ooh, I don't know if I can look at this. It was gross.
Another major change for these guys, I think, is the steel this year.
Yes.
3V. They did that, the Puko. They did the Puko in
yep.
3V.
But the Puko is not coated. It's
Yeah.
just
Which is interesting
Okay.
because it's high carbon steel. It's probably it's prone to rusting.
yep.
Not necessarily like just surface rust, but pitting.
Well, specifically they mentioned that.
And we were doing research on the steel, and it was what?
Yeah, Rockwell's a little bit higher.
Yeah,
Made by the
Rockwell's a
same
little bit
company.
The Rockwell's amazing on 3V.
I don't have much experience with it, so I'd like to know how it
I don't either.
operates.
And then they said
I,
it resisted micro.
Chipping.
Microchipping, and it's super high abrasion resistant, which also lends to its great edge retention.
And
Which
I-
it's resistance to folding.
Okay. And then I had mentioned that seemed like something you'd make a file out of or something really tough that you need to.
Which
wear
is a
on
very
constantly.
astute observation. I had not thought of that. I was super impressed.
So that
In
you
fact-
can beat on that file and then make a knife out of
Well,
it.
I mean, they do call it tool steel. Well, the file's a fucking tool, so
Yeah.
it would make sense that 3V would be a great tool. It would be a great file steel. I never thought of that.
Now, I don't know if this is a stupid question, but with this one, it kind of looks like the tonsil's a little curved.
Rounded on the bottom.
Which is not typical Tonto style. I like that they did that. It's got a little bit of a belly on it, but it still has that utility edge
Yeah,
like
for
you want
those
from a Tonto.
that don't like Tontos but like the knife, you can round it off and just make it.
Oh
standard
yeah,
drop points.
you could round that off in a couple of seconds on a 2x72.
Maybe that's why they did that
Or you
design,
can
so they
take
could make one blank.
Or you could take it to one of the local sharpeners and have them do it for you.
Something like us.
'Cause
local sharpeners. Like there's anybody besides us who could do it.
Well,
Okay, there's one guy out in the valley who could do it.
I
But
fixed a knife today that had been rounded off pretty poorly.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyone's lesson. We sharpened it for free, by the way.
Okay, I know who that was
So,
then.
I mean, I'm holding it. That rests nicely against like the meatiest part of my palm. So I assume that this
Your
would.
meaty hands.
Yeah, I've got tiny little hands. But it makes me feel like it would be easier if I had any resistance to do power carving.
Oh,
Like
okay, I see what
power
you're saying.
stance where you not power stance.
If you're doing a feather stick, making a fancy feather stick, like sitting on your living room floor, be like, I'm not using a starter log. By the way, I'm referring to myself. I'm not referring to Dakota.
No, I mean like I do a lot of camping. I do a lot of volunteer work that involves camping.
Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Boy Scouts.
I don't know if I can mention them here. So,
Oh, sorry.
but
He is heavily involved in the Boy Scouts, so much so that he's now an unofficial spokesman for the Boy Scouts. Just going to throw that out there.
God damn it. But
Somebody just got
I
fired.
could see if you were cutting a rope, if you were cutting a box or something, having that little extra bit in your palm versus this, where it rests inside your palm, you don't get the full lock up here in your hand. It would definitely make a big difference as far as grip on it
Well,
and
just
your
with
ability
the,
to keep it in your hand.
Because with the bailout, you get what?
Plus-
an extra half inch?
Yeah.
I mean, probably an extra
Definitely.
quarter inch, including the polymer handle, and probably an extra half inch if you just include
And,
the thing as a whole.
I'm actually noticing this. With this, to get a good power grip on it, I have to have my hand on the back of the blade. With this, the way they've designed it, I feel confident with my hand off the blade.
Huh? I see.
Maybe that's why they lengthened it and did that little bit of a curve there, so it naturally gives you that hold. Besides that, it seems like they just use parts bin parts, what they got on hand, which is normal. I mean, for any manufacturer.
Well, actually, the parts bin parts. To take parts bin parts and make something that is
Different.
I mean, different, and not only different, but in my opinion, better. Because the Bugout is, like you said, slightly too small for me. Nothing against Bugout, but slightly too small for me. To be able to take parts bin, or some parts bin parts, and make something that is not only different but better, that's the genius of the design and the work. I mean...
And I guess the only thing I see parts bin is the clip is the same. Everything else is different.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
we order big containers that are nothing but Benchmade clips and screws, so we can do work, and we don't have to send, we don't have to send it in for warranty just because, you're missing a screw.
Well, if you guys were to rate this one, would you say it's an improvement on the existing design, or
Yes.
it is a completely new model?
I think the Bailout's going to be a fucking home run.
Well,
Yeah.
do you think it's a new model entirely,
I
or it's an
think it's an
improvement
improvement
of succession
on
of generations?
The Bugout. Because the Bugout is a great knife. It's sold really well. We sell out of, especially this one.
You say sold like it's not going to sell real well anymore.
The Bugout?
It sells real well or sold real well?
Well, it depends on how many of the available.
That's true. Well, judging by how quickly they went, we have one left.
Well, and with the price point,
Well, one that's not spoken
if
for.
we
I'll
don't
say.
have any bailouts, people are like, well, I mean, it's cheap enough. Like, cost-wise, I'll buy
Bugout.
a Bugout, and then I'll buy a bailout when they come in. Because, I mean, it's like buying like another high-end knife, but you get two.
Yeah. I think the Bugout's a home run.
All right.
Good improvement.
Yeah.
Better
I mean,
feel
it's-
all around.
I mean, it's all the good things I like about the Bugout, but I don't. The
And
only
very
reason I
neutral
wouldn't
colors.
own a Bugout is because of the size, and it's just big enough that I'm there.
Yeah, you get that full grip. You
Yeah.
get that sure feeling in your hand.
And especially 3V. I think when I'm done with my, I carry a Spyderco for the LC20, the LC200 steel because I don't have any experience with it, and I'm sad to say I don't have any experience with 3V. I should, but I don't.
Very few
I
people
think,
have used it. It's a pretty modern steel.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, it's been around since the
used
late
it.
90s, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, but ZT used it for a while, but it's not. I mean, it's been in the realm of like the mid-tech market, where
ZT did?
yeah, ZT used it in the 0100.
But they used the Vanadis 4X.
No, that was in the 0180.
Okay.
But I don't have a lot of experience with 3V. In fact, I've only used it once, so I don't even call that experience. I think my Spyderco might be done, and I think when we do get enough bailouts in,
Then you
that
can
the
have
customers aren't scooping them up, because I never pocket a knife that the customers want. So I always wait until we have extra and then pocket it.
That's a shock rule.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think this might
Like the one
be.
sitting on my desk downstairs.
I think I think this Bugout or this bailout might be my next EDC.
All right.
And it's gonna be, it's gonna take the place of this Spidey chef that I have, and it's gonna take its seat next to my Reeve.
God, you fucking cross draw. Chronicles of Riddick there, man.
Well, no, I always carry my more common knife on my left side because I'm not left-handed, and I try to train myself to use my left hand a little better.
Oh, okay.
So with the blade design, I would assume that if you didn't like the Tonto, give it a few months, and I would assume that they'd come out with something new.
I don't
for
think so.
blade
I
design.
think that they're just going to keep the Tonto and do serrated and non-serrated.
Really, I would think if this takes off, they might.
I mean, for how
would
well
like
it's
to
been
see
received so
a
far.
Wharncliffe, if anything, if they do something different,
Man.
a Wharncliffe in that would be amazing.
A Wharncliffe 3V bailout might almost make me be like, you know what? Sorry, customers, I need this.
That's fair.
You know what?
Yeah,
Because if
exactly.
you point this to do a drop point, because you can get the bug out.
Yeah, for sure.
They're
No,
close
I see
enough
that. I
you
see that.
Probably you might be able to change the blade out. I think they're a little bit different.
Okay, now I know what I'm doing in the next break. I'm gonna go see if we can switch those blades. Hold on, wait a minute. How long is it? Is it possible to switch out in the handle?
Ooh, they're very
It's
there.
close. Nope. No, it'll actually poke out the end. It would have to be reprofiled.
Well, I
We
mean-
might have machines to fix
We
it,
might have machinery that can fix that.
but
We have the
And
technology.
we might have somebody who could re-cerakote it.
no
Hey!
way.
Oh!
The rest of the hardware for the room will be here Monday, and then I'll get Tom's working on. I'm not gonna do anything, but I'll get Tom's
It's
working on.
probably out of frame, but we have the Cerakote advertisement already up.
I'm really excited.
I think what they did with this, I think this bailout's a great knife.
Yeah.
I really think it's gonna be, we're gonna have a hard time keeping them in stock.
Would you
We're
say-
already having a hard time keeping them in stock.
Now, compared to the turret, this is definitely a great knife, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The turret we were a little
Well,
confused about.
But turret's hard use as fuck. I mean, the turret is built like a Presidio. It's built like
Or
a
an
tank.
Omnis.
Yeah, it's built like a tank. This is, I don't know. This is tank steel, and this is, you're not gonna baton with this, but this is definitely gonna get the job done.
Was that a
and,
challenge?
And it's not going to. Well,
Benchmade doesn't warrant stupidity. Just
yeah, exactly. No, yeah, you don't warranty stupidity.
They might the first time, but the second time it's on you.
It'd be cool if they made an auto version of it.
Of what the?
The bailout.
Oh, it'd get too thick.
There's
Okay.
there's not.
I mean,
enough
Jesus
space.
Christ, just the springs. I mean, we carry extra springs for autos for many different companies, and we do a lot of spring replacement because we don't want to have to send it back. So, and we have the acumen to do it. But Jesus, even the smallest auto spring is 3/4 of the width. So this thing would have to grow by not quite double, but almost
I mean,
that.
So is that a
Yeah.
challenge to Benchmade?
The mini Presidio, the small one, is still a
Do
pretty
you have a
thick
handkerchief
stout.
to throw out?
Yeah. I actually have been considering. I bitched out on our last one, but I have been considering modifying a Sabenza into ball bearings
For personal use only.
for personal use only. I would never do that. It was my personal one. I'll modify it for personal use only. I would never modify Chris Reeves' knives just from the factory. That's a shitty thing to do to someone. And plus, I think it's unethical.
I
But
have seen a lot that have like the thumb hole instead of people have drilled
Oh,
out the blade for
yeah.
a thumb hole instead of the thumb
yeah,
stud.
we've gotten that on quite a few knives where they want to drill out a thumb hole, and then you have to recess the handle and everything, which we've done on many knives, but it's always at customer request. We don't take it upon ourselves to modify an existing company's knives. That seems a bit unethical to us.
Almost seems like just better to buy a different knife at that point.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not the customer, and what the customer
True.
wants, and we have the ability to provide. I mean, we'll obviously try to help them out as much as we can, but like I said, we won't take something brand new off the shelf and decide that we know better. We make our own knives. If we want to do that, we just make it.
Mm.
Just kidding.
All right. So,
Love
I guess
it.
we can all agree, and we can have a Walter Cronkite like outage.
That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. No, I agree. Good for Benchmade. I think the
Very
bailouts.
Seattle.
I think the. I think the bailouts. I think it's a great knife. I think it's gonna fucking take off. In fact, I'm gonna make a prediction right now. Give it less than a month, and titanium and aluminum aftermarket scales are already gonna be available.
Well, let's do
Or they're
this.
going to be like Jeep, where they're already available. They're just waiting for launch.
Yeah.
They already had measurements and everything from all the aftermarket.
When are you gonna have more in stock?
Jesus Christ! As soon as we possibly
Let's
can.
call Fabian.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we just write them a blank check and say send.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're. I don't know how much insider information this is, but we're on auto ship with Benchmade. So what it is we just anytime something new comes out, we just say don't ask, just send it and bill us. And so that's why anything new that comes out, we just automatically do that.
Well, they do stuff in batches, so I mean, we can order them, but it may be like 3 months before we get any more in because they have to make so many of them and they have to get all the parts for them.
I think they're going to get so many orders that these are going to be up for reproduction. I mean, I think first productions are going to be out quick as fuck. I think these are going to go crazy. Ooh,
Gangbusters.
that means wait a minute. So
200.
this is first production. So what is it? It's April. So in this fall, we need to get that prototype.
Sounds good. We can do that.
All right.
All right. So coming this fall, the bailout prototype.